Good evening. I'm doing very well. It's raining here, but I got a candle that has a nice Christmassy scent. How are you doing? hmm Yeah, that's right.
Let's try that again, shall we? Buenas
Sure.
noches, gente. This is, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. With me, as always, is my co host, the redoubtable Luisa. How are you doing?
And good evening. Doing great. Raining here, cold, but I have a warm Christmassy candle, so I am doing wonderfully. How are you doing?
I am doing great. I am in a room with a space heater, which is just about the best way that things could be going right about now. It has
hmm
been a huge temperature drop today and very windy. The commissioner and I had to go out several times, and I had to stand behind him because otherwise he would begin to tumble.
He has to inspect the field.
That's right, exactly, and eat parts of it. That's the best way that he knows how to inspect it. But I ate a wonderful dinner, and most importantly, we are back, and there is baseball.
Woo!
We took 2 weeks off, the interseasonal hiatus, as we like to call it on air. We have way dirtier names for it off it when we're outside of the booth. But we scheduled the games. At least we have some idea of where we're gonna go with this. We found at least some of the commercials that we have to translate, and boy, did we find some. There are several of these that are gonna take Louisa both of the pauses, both of the commercial breaks to read.
Nice.
The Boletín Mercantil got real wordy in March of 1871, is what we've discovered.
Nice. I like that.
And there have been some major changes in the Naguabo lineup because, by the way, we are opening the 1908 season here with the Navegadores de Naguabo, our famous, beloved sapphire and gold team, hosting their divisional rival, the Soles de Luquillo, in their gold and red. Last year, these Soles actually gave the Navegadores a lot of trouble, a surprising amount, given that they're not a very good team.
I'm gonna say they got the mascot bump because they got a new mascot last year, and it really helped them out.
That is absolutely the case. I would fully believe that. Uh, what was his name? Dialboroso, if I remember correctly. And it's just a wonderful
Yeah.
mascot. Huge fan of it. And I think that is what they did that. And the fact that Ramon Chavez usually pitches like there are 168 games in a season. Conservatively, he pitches like 140 of them.
Poor guy. That seems like a lot.
I'm exaggerating. This is hyperbole, but he does show up a lot in relief. It's
Mhm.
really unfortunate. He is not going to last long at the pace that they're using him.
Yeah, I bet.
Anyway, the 1908 and 1909 Navegadores are going to look very different from the team that we've been getting used to because, well, we wanted to have a Ko-Fi article ready for you by the time we logged on. That did not happen, but what you need to know is that the Navegadores lost two of their core special prospects to the rule that says, hey, you can't continue working for the Navegadores once you hit the big 3-0, the dirty 30.
It's Logan's Run rules.
Exactly. So the crystals that turned black this time were longtime first baseman Rob Feaster and longtime second baseman Eto and Shrdlu. The font of wisdom and the grackle went off to find other pastures. The font of wisdom actually signed up for the Capitanes de Mayagüez with former
Oh,
teammate Spike Stonehand, so we'll be visiting them at some point in this season. And I very few things in baseball make me happy, but I did find out that Rob Feaster signed for the highest salary any player has ever signed with the Reyes de Juana Díaz, who promptly gave him back his number and put him back at third base. So,
Wow. Things are looking up for him.
I am cautiously optimistic about this Reyes season. I am sure that they will find a way to annihilate that optimism roughly by July. But I'm excited to see what they put together.
Yeah, me too.
Will says, damn Union Busters. That's right. As we love these players, but boy, do we hate their sponsor. Mm-hmm. Also, everybody will be happy to know that attendance should be back to normal this year. The Navegadores did, in fact, drop ticket prices, and they have not recovered. Pretty much every team retained the low ticket prices. So I don't know what happened there, if there are subsidies or something happening, but people are getting to see baseball for a lot cheaper than they were in the early part of the century, and I think that's something we can all be happy about.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we are 6 minutes into this broadcast. I think it's time that we get our batteries in, as the Puerto Ricans would say. It's nearly a sold-out crowd, just 13 empty seats in the entire stadium, attendance of 2,987. It's raining, temperature of 24 degrees, and the wind is blowing out to right. So lefties on both teams should have some interesting batted balls out to Luis's favorite right fielder of all time, Frank del Castillo.
You really play that up. I do not have anything against him. I don't believe I have to keep defending myself on this. I like him just fine. If he would hang on to that ball, that's the only thing, Frank.
Likely story. At any rate, before we read out the starting lineups and have our first pitch, we of course need a word from one of our sponsors. And though the commercials for this season may be all new and they may come from later issues of the Boletín Mercantil, there is one sponsor that remains, as ever, constantly first in our hearts. Who is this, Luisa?
This is our North Star. This is Dr. Gonzalez Wood Tar Liquor. 70,000 patients have been cured over 15 years with it. Chronic colds, rogue coughs, abundant chest discharges, asthma, bronchitis, and other respiratory ailments, all cured. It helps with consumption and also with bladder catarrh. It purifies overhumored blood, and it whets the appetite for fattening. Not to be confused with other Dr. Gonzalez Wood Tar liquors, except no substitutes. And of course, it is sold in all good pharmacies, especially San Juan's own Farmacia Guillermetti, at the corner of Calle de San Francisco and Calle de la Cruz.
Thank you very, very much, Luisa. For today's Inaugurales game in 1908, the starting lineup for the visiting Soles de Luquillo. I'm sorry, before I do that, Will says, does Dr. Gonzalez ever attend games? Actually, yes. He's been attending games basically since the league existed, which is interesting because that would make him 100 and... let's see... at the very least, it would make him 154 years old. And that's...
he's not only the president, he's also a member. He stays alive with that Wood Tar liquor.
Exactly. He's basically pickled.
I love that.
Let me put it this way. Attend implies a sort of conscious enjoyment of the game. He's there.
Yes.
Beyond that, we cannot scientifically conclude anything.
I'm imagining he's starting to look a little bit like a body that has fallen into a tannic bog and become a little bit tannically cured, leatherized. A little bit like that from all the wood tar, but in a attractive, good way.
Right. Yes. And one thing we can guarantee is that he is completely protected against tuberculosis.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Important.
Exactly. So, as we were saying, the starting lineup for the visiting Soles de Luquillo, leading off and playing center field, number 13, Callow Kelly. Batting second and playing third base, number 22, Priamo Agosto. Batting third and playing second base, number 12, Kaylee Murphy. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 18, Rio Richards. Batting fifth and playing left field, number 7, Merrick Warren. Batting sixth and playing right field, number 55, Cameron Evans. Batting seventh and playing first base, number 88, Marcos Picard. Batting eighth and catching, number 40, Aldo Aguilar. And batting ninth and playing shortstop, number 14, Vidal Villagomez. I have to say, I don't think I've ever seen this many Irishmen on the same lineup.
I was gonna say, it seems a little heavy. I guess now that teams are letting in players who were born elsewhere.
Yeah. There's also a Welshman and a Scotsman, and there's some sort of Celtic sun worship joke somewhere here, but I don't think I've got the skill to make it happen.
I'll have to think that one over.
All I'm going to say is that maybe it's something like they're putting the Lu in Luquillo. Because Lu's a sun god. Get it?
Yeah. There's something there.
Maybe Luquillo has a bitchin' Lunasa celebration.
That would be awesome.
It would. Now the starting lineup for your Navegadores de Naguabo. Batting leadoff and playing center field, number 27, Graham Underwood. Taking back his number 2 spot and playing right field, number 56, Frank del Castillo.
Diablo Rojo.
Batting third and catching, number 17, Pablo Salmeron.
Rodijon.
Batting fourth and playing left field, number 55, Jake Getman.
The Tank from Frank.
Batting fifth and now starting first baseman, number 23, Kim Min Su.
Pyong Bang.
Batting
It's
sixth.
tricky to work that. Sorry. There's a pun in there. It's a little bit tricky. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 11, Wally Block.
The Human Ripcord.
Batting seventh and playing shortstop, number 6, Benigno Valdez.
Benji.
Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 35, Francisco Bouchet.
Godemiche.
Look it up, folks. And batting ninth and playing second base, number 13, newly minted starting second baseman, holder of the Scottish seat, Adam McKinnon.
McKinnon.
Pitching tonight for the Navegadores de Naguabo. You know him, you love him, you've seen him, you've screamed at him. Number 2, Ted Balloon.
Looney Balloony.
Let's get this show on the road. Callow Kelly against Ted Balloon. Here goes nothing as we pan around La Timorera for the first time in the 1908 season. It's a 1-0 count on Kelly, and he lances it into right field. Frank catching it on the run, and we are underway. It's the 1908 season as we continue. 2 pitches in, Ted gets his first out on a low fastball. Here comes Priamo Agosto. 0-2 count. Agosto, comebacker right to Ted. Great catch as he moves a few steps to his left, and he's got out number 2. Ted is one of these pitchers that has just improved year after year. He is now the reigning Acutissimo at pitcher once again.
It's amazing that he's so good, and he hits guys so often.
Indeed. You almost have to wonder if the hitting guys contributes to the capability on some level.
Oh, it's a mind game, you think? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Intimidation. Psychological warfare. Mm-hmm. Now he faces Kaylee Murphy, who is 5 for 16 against him. That's a .312 batting average. Let's see if Ted, who has got them both out so far on fastballs, goes for contact here. Ooh, first pitch. Murphy going right after it. And he hits it right to Wally Balk on the liner. Luquillo goes down on something like 4 pitches. Actually, 5, if I get my math right. So no runs, no hits, and no errors as we go into the bottom of the first. And Luquillo was not going to disappoint with their choice of pitcher. Pitching for the Soles de Luquillo, of course he was, number 25, Ramon Chavez, known as the desapercibido, the unperceived.
Real John Cena.
It's because he doesn't show up in photographs. No one knows why, really. It's weird.
A real Dracula, if you will.
That's right. That's actually not true. It's because one of his... so let's check out his inventory. Fastball, changeup, sinker, and I think it's the cutter that got him the nickname because it just kind of moves in a way that is very difficult to see as a hitter.
Well, it's a cool nickname.
Exactly. And leading off against him, Graham Underwood. Let's see what happens here in the bottom of the first.
Come on, Ham.
Underwood with a good at-bat, taking Chavez to a full count before he rocks it right to Agosto on a bouncer, and he'll be out across the highway. And out, but it took 7 pitches to get there, although given the pitch that he swung at, you might still not be happy with him.
Yeah, he's excited. It's the beginning of the season.
That's right.
Give him the benefit.
Here comes Frank del Castillo, who's hitting .310 against Ramon Chavez. 13 hits and 42 at-bats. Chavez has held right-handed hitters to a 2.24 average, as del Castillo on a big arc out there to right field. Evans has it just before the warning track. This is the opposite of the Underwood at-bat, swinging at a bad pitch immediately and getting out.
Yeah, right under the zone, too. Really strange.
Exactly. But that's what Ramon Chavez does. I mean, there's a reason that the Soles give Naguabo so much trouble, and it is almost certainly that no matter what other teams can bring to bear, Luquillo has Ramon Chavez. And if you're batting against him, the Soles always have at least a 50-50 shot at winning that game.
Yeah.
So here comes Pablo Salmeron, who last year did quite well, hitting 13 home runs, on base and slugging percentage combined, somewhere north of 650. Against Chavez, though, he's hitting just 219. Now would be a great time to get his boots on and come back. But on the 2-2 count, Salmeron right back to Agosto, and he will be out easily on the grounder. We are through 1 inning. Naguabo going down in order to match Luquillo. We're going into the second. This game is scoreless. I don't know. What do you think about this? How confident do you feel in these Navegadores here?
Strangely, unusually for me, I do feel pretty confident that they're going to win this one.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be really difficult because I feel like a lot of time the Naves sort of power through. They overpower a pitcher and they're just able to get enough hits to win that way.
Mm-hmm.
But as you say, this pitcher, he's really clever. He's wily. So it might be very hard. I think they might win by just 1 or 2 runs.
That, I think, seems about right. We're also starting a prediction. You know what we always do every TED start. How many guys is he going to hit? This time we're setting the over-under at 1.5. Because he was surprisingly aloof in terms of pitching inside during the spring. He didn't tend to hit guys until I think his last start where he went a little wild. So I'm kind of hoping that we'll see a little bit more control out of Ted. Because I do agree with you. When Ramon Chavez is the opposing pitcher, you cannot have mistakes in your game. You have to show up. You have to play every phase of the ball well. He is not going to give you runs. You're going to have to take them from him.
Mm-hmm.
After this inning...
That's what I'm afraid of.
I think it's a very rational fear. Ted got through that first inning on 6 pitches. He faces the Luquillo Heartsmen, starting with one of 3 alliterative names, and 4 if you accept that C and K are the same sound. Designated hitter Rio Richards. On
The red beard on this man.
On the 2-strike count, Ted gets his first punch out of the season with a fastball. Yeah, red beard Rio Richards.
What's the story, I wonder?
That's a real tongue twister they give people in the Luquillo clubhouse. Merrick Warren comes up next, the left fielder against Balloon. He's hitting .429, 6 hits in 14 at-bats. 2-2 count for Warren. And he strikes out. Balloon back-to-back punch-outs, and this time on that wicked changeup of his. 6 pitches to get that one, which is almost as many as he'd thrown all game. And his reward is facing Scotsman Cameron Evans, who is hitting .192 off of him. Let's see if Ted can finish this inning in style. A full count on Evans. Here comes the payoff pitch. He knocks it right back to Balloon, who's got time. He throws to first, and that inning is clean as well. The Naves getting another chance to respond, as the Soles unable to solve Ted so far, although they are wasting pitches from him. In the bottom of the second, it'll be the Naguabo Heartsmen, Getman, Kim, and Balk, the big guys, against Ramon Chavez. Got through that first inning on 13 pitches. Getman last year, 18 home runs, excellent numbers across the board. Former Ilustrísimo. This was a dream get for the Navegadores a couple of years ago, and he has been exactly as effective as they expected. His development with them, I say development, his performance with them was just in line with expectations, and it meant that he won a championship with them, something he never could with Humacao. So I bet this has been a big win-win in this clubhouse.
You know, it's a shame that the newspapers would certainly be in Spanish, because you could say, when they finally signed him, Naves Getman, Getman.
Mm-hmm. I think you're giving them... My guess is that they would actually say Naves, and then it would be in quotation marks, get, with 2 T's. Man.
That's true. You're right. Then you can have the title, the headline, much bigger font. That's
exactly. There's a story about an editor for a rural newspaper back in the day, right? When rural newspapers were a thing.
Mm-hmm.
He had this big type behind his desk that he would never allow to be used for anything. A huge plate, big font, and no matter what happened, no matter what kind of disaster or anything, he would never allow it to be used. One day, while he was out of town, this huge flood hits the town and basically just washes it away. Everything is gone. The farmers are wondering, are they going to be able to eat? Everything is just absolutely destroyed. And his journalists is thinking, this has to rate the big type, right? So they take the plate down, they print out the newspaper and everything. And when he comes back, he is incensed that they would do that. He goes, what do you mean you're taking down that big type and using it for this? All these years I've been saving that for the second coming of Christ.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, here we go. Getman on the 1-2 count off of Chavez, and he gets the first hit for the Navegadores as he lances one up the middle into center field. Getman gets base to start his season. 4 pitches in, hits a sinker up and in. Here comes Kim.
I really like the mustard and ketchup theme of the Soles uniforms. I like that. Very eye-catching.
Yes, very, very condiment-ish. They're serving condiment, you might say.
I would not say that.
Oh, but I will. I won't even worry about it.
Nice. It's easy for you.
Exactly. Here comes Kim Su. You may remember that last year he had one of the all-time great opening day games. He hit 3 home runs in playing the Picudos. Let's see what he can do against Chavez, as he's got a man on first and no outs. 0-1 count. Kim hits that one. Taylor made double play ball, but Getman with a big slide into Villagomez there at short, and he can't throw. So it'll be just a lead runner out after that one. Kaylee Murphy with a good catch and throw there, trying to set up the twin killing, but he doesn't manage it. With one out and a man on first after the fielder's choice, here comes Wally Balk. He had a career season last year, and the hope is that he can repeat in 1908. Balk is 27, and the hope is that he can cement his reputation as one of the all-rounder third basemen in the league.
That would be nice.
0-1 count. Hit up center field, and Wally Balk starts his season with a runner. We are not going to give Kim the go-ahead to third base. There'll be 2 on with 1 out. 2 singles and a fielder's choice to bring up Benji Valdez, the shortstop and team captain of the Navegadores since 1902. Valdez has been famously capable of just hanging with the boys, even though his offensive performance should have suffered by all predictions last year. Did not happen. He recorded a 745 OPS on the way to some more excellent postseason heroics, and he remains a key plank in this team's offense. He is also, by the way, once again, the reigning Ilustrísimo. I believe that is the 3rd time he's won the award.
Wow.
That ties him with Tomas Ramirez for most wins in one career.
Nice.
Will says, after getting burned repeatedly taking the over on Ted, I went for the under tonight.
Smart.
First pitch to Valdez. Pops it up. Agosto coming in to get it. Although, for some reason, Villagomez jumped up behind him. I know we've seen this before, but it makes me laugh every time. Look at the shortstop there. He jumps up as though he's anywhere in the same zip code.
He's just trying to show willingness.
That's right. And here is the debut of number 35, newly minted holder of the Haitian seat, Francisco Bouchet. We've seen him on broadcast before when we've played Malditos games, but this is his first year as a member of the Navegadores and his first plate appearance in the major leagues.
What do you like to call him?
Godemiche? Oh, no, the other one. Frank Bucket?
Yeah.
If he were a basketball player, that would be a great nickname.
It would be a great name.
Francisco Bouchet, he is the reigning Ilustrísimo for the Liga Veraniega, which he just got promoted out of. He's 22 this year. He's shown a lot of raw power, great speed, good defense out in center field. He's basically designated to be Underwood's main backup this year.
Okay.
And will most likely end up in right field next year, as Frank del Castillo is 29 and will turn 30 during the season.
Ooh.
Yeah, we didn't want to get into it too much because it's the first game of 1908, but there are going to be 5 Navegadores going somewhere else in the 1908-09 offseason.
Oh, man.
And if I'm Mayagüez or Juana Díaz or Gurabo, I'm going after those guys. I'm rebuilding that core. 2 on, 2 outs for Bouchet. Let's see what he does in his first appearance. A lot of free swing to his game, so I would expect a strikeout here. He's facing one of the best pitchers in the league, but let's see. First pitch. Oh! It's blocked by Aguilar, so the runners can't advance. A ball there. Bouchet takes it, surprisingly. 1 pitch later. Bouchet, bouncer right back to Chavez, and he can't run it out to first in time. Bouchet is retired, and Naguabo gets 2 hits but no runs as we head through the second inning. We're on to the third, this game remaining scoreless. It's a question of who blinks first. Here in the top of the third, Marcos Picard, the first baseman, digs in against Ted Balloon. 21 pitches over 2 innings with 2 strikeouts. Picard is 11 for 43 against Ted Balloon. That's a batting average of 256. However, he's hit 2 dingers against Ted, including one that we saw on camera.
You think Ted's intimidated?
Ted's what?
Do you think Ted's intimidated?
We'll see. Let's see how he pitches. It's a 2-2 count. I would say no.
All right.
Challenged him with a changeup right down the main street there, and then a fastball low in the zone. Either one of those pitches could have left this park, but it did not matter.
Nice work, Ted.
Third strikeout for Ted, and here comes Aldo Aguilar, the catcher. Aguilar presenting a real threat with this full count, and Ted walks him on the payoff pitch. Beautifully worked that bat there. Ted, for some reason, either wanted no part of him or thought that he could slip all of these pitches by him. That's always a dangerous game to play with a catcher. Especially with a catcher who looks like the guy from The Pretender. If I talk about this series, are you going to understand anything I say?
The Pretender. I have heard of it. I have not seen it. Didn't they make a movie? Wait, no. I'm thinking of The Saint.
No. They did. They did make a movie.
But it didn't star Val Kilmer, though, 'cause that was The Saint.
No, that is very true. It did not star Val Kilmer. I'm trying to remember who were the actors. What's his face?
Is this the one with Dermot Mulrooney? No, Dylan
Nope.
McDermott?
No.
Okay.
No, that's The Practice.
Ugh.
The Pretender had... I'm trying to remember. He ended up on Desperate Housewives later. But I can't remember his name right now. It's not coming to me. Whatever. Not the point. It was perfectly fine entertainment, and this guy kind of looks like him.
Okay.
Anyway, here comes Vidal Villagomez. Shortstop for the Soles. Man on first and 1 out. 1-0 count, and there it is! First plunk of the season? Oh, no, it was a bunt. Interesting.
Wow.
I thought for sure that was going... What was that?
I didn't see him move his back.
Did he just bunt defensively?
That might be a smart move.
Honestly, because that's the most amazing bit. It's kind of incredible, but if he did sort of move his bat into it, that would be a strike.
Okay.
I forget what his name was. I think his name was Ricky Karcher. He was a notoriously wild pitcher for the Reds. He made his debut for the Reds anyway. And one strike that would have blown an opposing batter's face off. The guy basically moved his bat into it just to, defensive maneuver, just to protect himself, basically. And because he did that, it counted as a strike.
Oh, that's a shame.
We go back to the top of the lineup, and here comes Callo Kelly. And I didn't mention this last time, but he's 2 for 20 against that. Man on second and 2 outs. The Soles here have a very good chance to bring that runner around. 0-1 count. He hits it to Wally Balk, and I don't think that runner is going anywhere as he throws across the hallway, and Luquillo is through 3. They get a walk, and that's all. The Navegadores have a chance to respond to that. Ramon Chavez, 24 pitches over 2 innings. He's allowed 2 hits, and he faces the new starting second baseman and new holder of the Scottish seat, although I don't think there was a holder last year, actually. Well, it was him. Before that, it was Kieran Anderson, so he inherited it from Anderson. Adam McKinnon, number 13. McKinnon, one of the most highly regarded prospects in the organization, supposed to be a 5-tool player, defense, speed, hits for contact, hits for power, and has a great batting eye. So this should be a future Ilustrísimo. We'll see if he gets there. Here goes nothing. Full count at bat, and McKinnon hits that one right to Villagomez at short, who throws over. He's out, but 6 pitches more on Chavez's line. That's all they can ask, really, of a guy in his sophomore LNP season. Here comes Graham Underwood. Once again, he's 0 for 1 on the day. 1 out, bases empty. This is where they have to turn on the pressure on Chavez. Get him to make some mistakes, and Underwood going after the first pitch. Hits it right to third base. Agosto throws to first, and that's out number 2. Not what they wanted to see there, and I would point out that is basically where he swung the first time.
Yeah, pretty good.
Just letting the pitcher know what to do at that point.
Yeah, really.
Here comes Frank del Castillo. He's 0 for 1 on the day. 2 outs, bases empty. 0-1 count. Del Castillo does not quite get that one past Murphy. He throws over to first, and Del Castillo is retired. Naguabo unable to capitalize on what they've seen so far from Chavez. They go down without much of a fight. As we head into the 4th, this game remains scoreless. Before we continue with the middle of the game, we will have another word from another of our wonderful sponsors. Louisa, the booth is all yours.
Thank you. Folks, this item is from March 1st, 1871. And it goes like this. Ignacio Yomparts El Telegrafo, new assortment. Now, this establishment, thanks to the Spanish brigantine Manolo, which entered this port on the 25th day of this past January, has received an extensive assortment of its usual goods, among which we will mention some articles that had become scarce in this town due to the Franco-Prussian War. Our good clientele, as well as the general public, can avail themselves of whatever they need at supremely equitable prices. Great assortment of footwear for ladies, children, and gentlemen. Great variety of hats and caps for ladies and gentlemen, and children of both sexes. Bows and plaits of imitation hair. With great novelty, we also offer collars and cuffs for ladies and gentlemen, as well as bonnets for ladies and girls. Shirts for gentlemen and boys, socks and half stockings of all classes, umbrellas and parasols in excellent variety, gloves of all sorts for ladies and gentlemen, a beautiful assortment of garlands and flowers for decoration, and all sizes of oilcloth for tablecloths. Toiletries for ladies and gentlemen, a great assortment of Panama and Huron hats, as well as in felt, cashmere, and other fabrics at very low prices. Slippers for ladies and gentlemen, plentiful assorted ribbons in satin and grosgrain for sashes, and tartan for bows. Undergarments for gentlemen, spats and shoes for baptism, frames for photographs, trunks and suitcases of all sizes, fans of all sizes, cufflinks for theater, rugs fit for churches as well as living rooms, blankets, purses, evening coats, and other effects apt for travel. Stylish hammocks, Baran-Khan coats, and waterproof capes, canes for gentlemen, crinolines of the latest styles, iron beds and cradles, both big and small, handkerchiefs of every size and color, breathtaking plenitude of perfumery, whitening face masks. Accredited from Barcelona, Cananga, Divina, and Florida. Linen and cotton lace of all widths, embroidered bands and panels, tassels, soutaches aplenty in wool and yarn, leather hat boxes, fashionable corsets for ladies, hairnets, beaded and unbeaded, cloth caps for volunteers, lint brushes for clothing, nail brushes, hair brushes, and toothbrushes. Rosaries available in ivory, mother of pearl, tortoise shell, and other patterns. Is Noah back?
Yes, I am. Were you just going to read until I got back?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
What would you have me do?
Read the first half and comment on it.
Well, how do I know where the first half ends, according to you? Didn't think about that, did you?
I would count the paragraphs and divide by 2. That's usually how we determine halves.
Nope, I start reading, and then I don't see where I'm going until I'm already reading, so.
So let's see. First half would presumably be, well, okay, that is a little thin. Cashmere and other fabrics at very low prices by amount of paragraphs. At any rate, this wowed me because it's not just a variety of the merchandise. It's the fact that it almost seems stream of consciousness in terms of what was reported on when.
Yeah, they don't seem to have any limit on how much they can just talk about every single thing that they offer.
Yes. And there doesn't, sometimes there is categorization, but there doesn't seem to be categorization between paragraph and paragraph.
Yes, true.
And then sometimes there is also not categorization from sentence to sentence. So it does remind you a little bit of the excellent song from the pop star Never Stop, Never Stopping soundtrack. These are the things in my Jeep.
Yes, exactly. Cufflinks for the theater, that's important.
Exactly, yes. What they don't tell you is that you can actually slip small amounts of poison in there.
I wish because they start out by telling you that they'll mention some articles that had become scarce in the town due to the Franco-Prussian War. I wish they had told you which ones. I'm very curious.
There are two possibilities. One is that everything they are listing had grown scarce due to the Franco-Prussian War. I need to
Yeah.
explain to you how many items per issue of this newspaper are about the Franco-Prussian War.
Oh no! It was so far away.
Yeah. But
And
it
not
mattered.
involving any parties that governed or had an interest in the island at any time, I
Well,
don't think.
see,
Right?
remember that we're talking about the era of monarchies still. So even
True.
if you, first of all, the Spanish monarchy are Bourbons, so they come out of a French, ascendancy, right? They have French ancestry.
Yeah.
Also around this time, if I remember correctly, they would have entered the Latin Monetary Union, where their coinage and French coinage were actually supposed to be pegged to each other, a kind of
Ah.
proto-European Union sort of thing, or European Common Market.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of interest from Spain. And in fact, for most of the 19th century, there was a movement in continental Spain called the afrancesados, Francophiles. People who wanted to sort of
Okay.
enjoy closer relationships with France and sort of
Mhm.
saw that as the more natural ally versus people who maybe wanted to focus a little more on the overseas empire and so on. So it is a little more logical, but also what is clear reading these is that everyone was interested in what was going on in the Franco-Prussian War because they were seeing the rise of this Germanic kingdom that was
Yeah.
rapidly unifying all of these other areas. And France, which was this great power, obviously from the modern American context, there's the whole meme of cheese eating surrender monkeys, but at the time, the idea that France under Napoleon III was going to get its uh, just a mud hole stomped in its ass, pardon the language, was somewhat surprising, is the reading I get from these articles.
Yeah. Definitely makes sense.
So, back to
And I've
baseball.
got. Oh, I was just gonna say the ad has given me a new compliment where it says rugs fit for churches as well as living rooms. So now, if I'm in someone's living room and they say we just got a new rug, I can say this is so nice. This is also fit for a church.
The two genders, churches and living rooms.
Exactly.
Anyway, so back to baseball, top of the fourth inning. Ted Balloon, third, 3 innings pitched, 36 pitches, 3 strikeouts, and a walk. He will face Agosto, Murphy, and Richards. Agosto is 0 for 1 on the day, now hitting 190 against Balloon. And here on the 2-strike count, he goes down frozen on a forkball. He swung through the first forkball, which was out of the zone, and then Ted basically said, how about another one of those? And just nailed him on the outside there. So
Nice.
that is strikeout number 4 for Ted Balloon as he faces Kaylee Murphy. Heavy contact hitter. He's over 1, 294 against Ted. First pitch against Ted, bases empty and 1 out, and that is right to Benji. A soft liner, but not much effort required from Valdez to catch it. That's out number 2. The bases remain empty for Rio Richards, who's over 1 as well. He is 2 for 3 against Ted Balloon. So today was the first time Ted's ever gotten him out.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, on the other hand, 3 at-bats. Mother of all small sample sizes, right?
Well, still, take the win where you can get him.
Fair. 2-2 count as he struck out back in the second, and here, that goes to Wally Balk. He throws across the hallway, and now he'll be batting .500 against Ted as Luquillo goes down without much of a fight as well. We're in the bottom of the 4th, and Pablo Salmeron, Jake Getman, McKinnon and Su all get ready to dig in against Ramon Chavez, who is at 33 pitches over 3 innings, 2 hits, and has surprisingly not struck out a single Navegador. Salmeron is 0 for 1 on the day. Let's see what he can do. Ooh, Salmeron, who grounded out the third, going after the first pitch. And that's a base hit. Bounces one into right field there, and Kelly has to run over to grab it. Chavez with that weird delivery of his. And thank God for Kelly's route there. So they hold him to a single. Though, granted, hold him to a single versus Pablito deciding he doesn't want to risk his knees by running to second. There's not much in it. Say again?
I'm just agreeing.
Here comes Jake Getman. He's 1 for 1 on the day. He hits that one right to first base. Is this going to be a double play? No! Surprisingly, Picard, after he throws to second, is unable to get the second out, get the throw back in. Picard, by the way, when we last saw him on camera, I believe, he was a shortstop. So, he has downgraded since.
That's a shame.
Defensively, anyway. Here comes McKinnon and Su, who is 1 for 17 against Chavez. I don't even want to know how many of those are strikeouts. What I do know is he's 0 for 1, and that was a fastball. So far, it would appear that that Chavez has thrown 2 pitches in this inning. Let's see if Kim can do a little bit better with a man on first and 1 out. 0-1 count. There goes Getman, and the first stolen base of the 1908 season belongs to Jake Getman, the tank from Frank, as he moves into scoring position for McKinnon Su. 2-1 count. Kim flies it out to center field, left center field rather, and it will be Warren coming in to grab it. So that's out number 2, and here comes Wally Balk. He's 1 for 1. Anything into the outfield should easily score Getman. He's a fast enough runner. Let's see what happens here. 2-2 count. What? Well,
Wow.
I guess that's why they call him desapercibido. Wally Balk becomes the first punch-out by Ramon Chavez in this game all the way into the 4th inning. Bit surprising. The Naves get the hit by Pablito, and that's it. As we head into the 5th, the game remains scoreless, as it looks like that cutter just barely caught the bottom edge of the zone. They call him out on a looking strikeout. Boy, this is a real pitcher's duel.
No one's really making any headway so far, though.
Yeah. Let's see if the rest of the games are kind of looking like this, shall we?
Yes.
We've got the Mar-Lar match, Maricao against Lares.
Nice.
3-1. Okay, some runs have been scored. The Marcianos de Lajas are up 2-0 against the Romeros de Hormigueros. The Caciques de Orocovis are beating the absolute tar out of the San Isalvos de Morovis 6-0.
Wow.
Whoa, Miguel Gobea is pitching for Orocovis. I forgot about that. He used to be on the Ingenieros. And if I remember correctly, he was promoted mid-season and then went something like 15-2.
Oh, man.
And then he wasn't very good after that. They shipped him off to Cuba. He played in Cuba for a while. And then he made his way back, first to Moca and then to Orocovis.
Seems like he's doing well now.
Apparently. Atillo is up 2-0 on what may be the first home run of the 1908 season by center fielder Guillermo Loredo. Isabela and Quebradillas are tied 1-1. Guillermo Rivera pitching against, who's this? Scott Rose. I have not heard of this man before. But apparently he's been playing Quebradillas for at least 2 seasons.
Well,
Golondrinas up 2-0 against Guanica, the reigning Sky pennant.
we know those guys. We just fought them a couple weeks ago.
We sure did. Jayuya up 3-0 on Adjuntas. Florida and Barceloneta 1-1. Villalba up 4-0 on Ponce.
Yeah, good. Stop them.
That's right. Andre Haddon just singled for them. Toa Alta up 2-1 on Bayamon with the most English name in baseball, despite being Welsh, Stephen Worsnup, pitching.
Very funny.
Loiza up 2-0 on Trujillo Alto. Curabo and San Lorenzo are scoreless. Fajardo and Vieques are scoreless and on a rain delay. Coamo up 1-0 on Santa Isabel. Vega Baja and Vega Alta are scoreless, but Vega Alta has 2 men on, so that ought to be interesting. San Juan up 3-2 on Cataño. Juncos and Rio Grande are tied 1-1. And Patillas and Arroyo are tied 1-1. Oh, sorry. Yabucoa and Las Piedras are tied 1-1. And then there's a bunch of games that haven't started yet.
All right.
So good to know. We officially have a first home run of the season. Guillermo Loredo of Atillo. Congratulations to him. I'm trying to remember what that prize is called. I believe it's called the Esteban Cortes Prize for hitting the first home run in a season.
There's a prize for that. Okay.
It's a minor award. It's the players always have like a ceremony after the season where they kind of hand out like little, I'd say they're paper plates, but obviously you get like, a plaque. But it's that kind of idea. It's not a big award. There's not like journalists there. And you don't give speeches or anything. It's just kind of to have fun. And you have a big meal. Yeah. Everybody has a lot of lechon, rum. They get drunk.
Class clown, most improved.
Exactly.
They get all the awards.
Keep that pimp hand strong, all of that.
I don't know about that.
That was a paper plate award at least one school play I know of. It was Kiss Me Kate, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. Valdez, Bouchet, and McKinnon. Pardon me. What am I talking about? Warren, Evans, and Picard are facing Ted Balloon, who is at 45 pitches over 4 innings. 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. Warren is 0 for 1. He is at 400 against Ted. As he leads off here in the 5th. 1-1 count. Warren to McKinnon, who drops it.
Oh, no.
Not a good first defensive play there for the new second baseman. Shrdlu had a tough 1907 season, and this is not raising confidence here. Here comes Cameron Evans, who's 0 for 1. 0-1 count. And he tries to bunt, but pops it foul. 0-2. Which is very interesting because you and I both saw that, and that bat did not make contact with the ball.
Yeah. What's going on?
Oh, now we're pretending that that's what happened. Okay. 0-2 count. Evans hits it into left field. There goes Getman, and he's got it. Out number 1. Marcos Picard comes up next, 0 for 1. This could be dangerous as there's a man on first and 1 out. First pitch, Picard pops it up. That'll be an infield fly. McKinnon seeking redemption, holds onto it, and that's out number 2. And here comes catcher Aldo Aguilar. He drew a walk last time he came up. Ted will want to avoid that this time. 1-0 count. Aguilar hits it up the middle, and there goes the Ted Balloon no-hitter. As they have to throw that one to... Whoa, did he do it? Oh, my Lord, he did. Kim Min Soo nails Aldo Aguilar at second. If they don't try for that stretch, they would have 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs, and granted, Vidal Villagomez up to hit. But that is a perfect assist from Underwood there. Check this out. He quickly makes that decision, realizes they're going to try to stretch the runner, throws it to Kim. He throws to second immediately, and they get the 3rd out. Beautifully done.
Incredible.
Ted, of course, giving Underwood a bit of a clap as they go off field there, as he deserves. He got him out of a tough spot there. We head into the bottom of the 5th, and now Valdez, Bouchet, and McKinnon are facing Chavez, who is through 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 strikeout on 44 pitches. Benji Valdez is 0 for 1. He's hitting .256 off of Chavez. As the rain starts to fall, Valdez popped up to third base here on the 2-1 count. Oh, wow. Both sides having trouble here.
Just dropped the ball.
Kayla Murphy drops the ball, so maybe the dirt out by second base is uneven or something if both guys can't hold on to it.
Maybe it got rained on over there.
It may have, yes. Here comes Frank Bucket. He's 0 for 1 on the day. First pitch. And Valdez will be caught out in plenty of time. Oh! Wait, seriously? Interesting. So, apparently, Murphy didn't actually tag him, but he got there ahead of time by so much that Valdez would have been out regardless. So, even though he missed the tag, they're calling him out. So, here comes Bouchet, who now has no one on and 1 out. Can he do better than that? Full count here. Francisco Bouchet drawing the first walk of the 1908 Naguabo season. Did not know he had that in him, to be honest with you. I was unfamiliar. I have to apologize to him. I was unfamiliar with his game. Here comes McKinnon. He's over 1. First pitch. Bouchet should be stealing, and he is there. Man, that is some serious showing up of your own team captain. Yeah. That's you saying, look what I can do. I just got here. I haven't even gotten a cup of coffee in the majors yet, and I just did what you couldn't.
Oh, that's not a good way to start, I think.
He is generally known as a bit of a disruptive influence, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in this season. He's going to have to become part of the team somehow. Here comes McKinnon. Man on second with 1 out. 0-1 count. 0-2 count. McKinnon, bouncer to third base. Bouchet running back to second. And McKinnon is out at first. A ground ball to Agosto. That turns the lineup over, and let's see if Underwood has some magic in him. Here, the 3rd time through the lineup for Chavez. Underwood is 0 for 2. He's hitting triple threes against Chavez now. Man on second and 2 outs. This is your time, Louisa. You need to manifest this for your guy.
And yeah, he's going to do it. He wants to make me happy.
Here we go. 0-2 count. Hits that one down the line. Underwood brings home the bacon as Bouchet able to run home from second in plenty of time. And that is going to be that's got to be a triple. It's Graham Underwood with the first run batted in of the 1908 Naguabo season. Brings in Bouchet all the way from second with an RBI triple. Ham Underwood take a bow there as he stands on third and takes a sip of rum. Wow, the replay changed the music cue.
They like to do that. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love when he goes right along the line. Oh.
Yes. It's got to be a strategy with them because they keep trying to do it and they just keep hitting it to the third baseman.
Yes.
That also means...
Now, I know you don't really play Pokemon, but are you familiar with the mechanic in more recent games within the last, 10 years or so, that when you have a Pokemon that you've raised to a very high level, it bonds with you so well that it will do things to please you. And what I mean is, like, it'll get hit with a huge attack, and it's definitely gonna faint, except it doesn't faint. It stays alive with 1 point, and it says, your Charizard didn't pass out because it wanted to make sure that you were okay. I feel like, at this point, this is what Ham does for me. Ham doesn't want me to worry, so he's gonna do all these extra moves.
I have so many questions about this. Not about the mechanic. I understand that, but so you're saying he's your emotional support baseball player? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. And I said, I know you're going to do a great job, Ham. And he hit a
did.
triple for me.
You are right. You did manifest it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here comes Frank del Castillo. Let's see if he can tack on another one, because I do think that this is going to be a close game. I do not think that one run is going to be enough. Maybe I'm wrong.
All right, we'll see.
Frank del Castillo drawing the second walk of the game for Ramon Chavez. And here comes Pablo Salmeron. I'm going to call my shot here. And I'm going to say that Frank del Castillo is going to get caught stealing and end the inning that way. Which is
all right.
A bad idea, because I think if you have Salmeron at bat, you have a better than average chance of getting your way hit to second, right?
Yeah.
There's a pretty good shot that he'll get you there no matter what. But Frank likes to run, so we'll see.
Yep.
First pitch. Yep, that's exactly how it happened. Isidro Damos is back, baby.
I do gotta hand it to you on that one. You're absolutely right.
Frank del Castillo running himself out of the inning, and the Navegadores will go into the sixth, having scored only one run. We need to tell Burford to stop ordering steals when, like, the power hitters are to bat.
Hasn't he been, for a few seasons now, hasn't he been ordering them not to try to do that? They are not allowed to try to do steals, and yet they do them anyway?
Yes, this is completely correct, yes.
You can't stop him.
That's right. His time is now. Oh dear. I did not realize that I was not set up to do the substitutions myself. That was a spring training thing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Just in case, we're going to get a couple of guys up in the pen. We're going to be doing this fairly regularly, especially in the early part of the season, where maybe the pitchers still need to knock off some rust.
Mm-hmm.
Because we already had Everton Stack came back at the very end of spring training, and for a minute there it looked like he was going to get injured again. And the Navis lost two of their young pitchers to injury within spring training. So we are taking no chances with the arms this year.
Yeah.
Ted has had 54 pitches through 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. He faces Vidal Villagomez, Callo Kelly, and Priamo Agosto. Villagomez had a sacrifice bunt last time. He is 1 for 6 against Looney Ballooney. Takes Balloon to a full count here. Hits it right back to him, and Balloon has plenty of time to throw over to Kim and finish him off. 7 pitches on the line there, as he will now face Callo Kelly, who is 0 for 2 on the day. He's doing even worse, 2 for 21 against Ted Balloon. That's a rough batting line against any pitcher. 2-strike count, and Kelly goes down swinging at a pitch in the dirt. We don't usually see that from other teams.
Yeah, that's wild.
He got flummoxed by that changeup, and Salmeron there just had to pick up the ball and tap for the strikeout number 5 for Ted. Here comes Priamo Agosto, which translates to August Priam, which I think is what Virgil calls him in Book 2 of the Aeneid.
I was going to say, Priam, I know that name. I know he's a king.
Oh, it's Priam, is it?
Yes.
Was he just constantly asking people to share details that they didn't want to.
Listen, listen, buddy. I'm gonna pronounce things in the way people pronounce them in the English language. And that's gonna be that.
All of Troy wanted to be protected from his prying eyes.
And his cheating heart.
Yeah, I, well, I don't know if he was. I mean, obviously, he must have had mistresses because we're talking here about a king in the environs of ancient Greece. But also, the man had 50 kids, and apparently most of them were by the same woman, which Greek mythological obstetrics appears to have been in way better shape than I thought.
Uh-huh.
Or that you would think.
Well, they're at the height of the cutting edge of technology in Troy. Was he in Troy?
Yes, he was.
Leader of, okay, yes.
Until Achilles' 10-year-old kid sliced his head off.
Yes.
So normal. Anyway, 2 outs, base is empty. Oh, they're calling a rain delay now.
Looks so cloudy out there.
23 minutes. Ted now at 66 pitches against Primo Agosto, who's over 2. He's 4 for 22 against Ted. And here on the 2-2 count, Agosto launches that one to Balk, who drops it. It's a wet ball. You can't really be too mad at him about that one, as that was a curveball. Could have been a perfect ground out, but instead now he faces Kaylee Murphy, who's over 2 on the day. Runner on first there, and does he get picked off? Not quite. Primo Agosto almost picked off at first, but it doesn't quite work. And here on the 3-1 count, that goes to Valdez. He makes no mistake, throws to first. Kim holds on, and that is out number 3. Luquillo, through 6 innings, unable to get much going. Just a hit, a couple of errors, a walk. And Naguabo remains in the lead. They've got another chance to respond here in the bottom of the 6th, as Salmeron, Getman, and Kim, the big boys of the lineup, get ready to face Ramon Chavez. Chavez is sitting on 66 pitches, over 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. The run that he has allowed is unearned, and it would sure be nice if the Naves would give him something to think about at the end of this game. Let's see if that's going to happen. Salmeron is 1 for 2. He was at bat when Frank del Castillo ill-advisedly got himself thrown out trying to steal second.
Yeah.
1-2 count. Salmeron launches it into right field, but not quite at a high enough angle. Evans has it on the 1-2 count there, a 6-pitch at bat. He actually managed 3 fouls in a row there before putting that sinker in play. That was briefly exciting. Here comes Jake
Just for a
Getman.
moment.
Mm-hmm. Some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's what Kelly Clarkson was thinking about? A guy flying out to right field?
Yes.
Okay.
She definitely wrote that song, and it was definitely about that.
Mm-hmm. Jake Getman is 1 for 2 on the day. 1 out, bases empty. 2-1 count. Getman launches his second hit of the night, or the afternoon rather, into short center field. 5th hit for the Navegadores. He's aboard with 1 out. So he makes it to first base. And Kim-Min Su will come up. You'll remember that last time. Kim hit into a fielder's choice. Getman was retired at second. Kim able to make it to first. Kim is 0 for 2 and 1 for 18 against Chavez. And on the 1-2 count, Kim strikes out and Getman gets nailed at second. They keep running on Aguilar, and you can see why. Getman had stolen a base in this game, but you cannot expose yourself to a strike him out, throw him out like that. Luquillo has a hell of a defensive highlight there. We are through 6. Naguabo leads by the razor-thin 1-0 margin, otherwise known as Max Pucker Factor. Before we continue, we're going to have another word from another of our sponsors. Louisa, the booth is all yours.
Well, bad news, folks, because there is more to tell you about what is available at Ignacio Yampart's El Telegrafo. So, let's continue. We've just heard about rosaries in ivory, mother of pearl, tortoise shell, and other patterns, so keep that in mind. We also have moltke ties for gentlemen, cufflinks for shirt cuffs, and yet more infinities of articles too varied to enumerate in this paper. Complete set, I like that they say that, like that's the end, but then there is another paragraph. So, complete set of military equipment received on the steamship Antonio Lopez on the 14th of the previous month. Among these are included new regulation sabers for insular forces officers, more gentlemen's footwear from the accredited factory of Ordinas in Majorca, and finally, a staggering assortment of fans at equally unprecedented prices. You can find all that on Calle San Justo, San Juan, Puerto Rico. You just have to wonder. I mean, I guess it's like a department store, but to go in, it seems like there's probably a lot of clothing for men, women, and children. And then iron bed frames, sabers, everything you could think of, I suppose. Here we have another small news item called New Aerial Craft. It seems that Geoffrey Fonville, writer for La Liberté, and one of our age's most notable sages due to his observational spirit and the safety of his aerostatic experiments, has occupied his time in London by building a balloon that, according to several competent experts, has an excellent opportunity to resolve the issue of aerial navigation. Monsieur Fonville has left for Boulogne aboard the steamship London Bridge and intends to then move to Lille, from where he will attempt to take off and perform an aerial journey to Paris. Exciting. Hot air balloons, I'm assuming. I wonder what the technology was then, because we're talking about, a lot later, decades later than the Montgolfier brothers. So, is this a balloon that you can direct more accurately than you can a hot air balloon? Is this something more like a blimp, like a Zeppelin? I wonder. For 1871, I suppose it would be something like that.
Okay, important question. Did you read the remaining parts of Jump Art and then just keep going the rolling beam to the second one?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna have to translate like 40 commercials then.
No. This will all work out just fine. Let's not worry.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so important thing that I need to mention here is I couldn't find any news, any factual information about this Fonville guy.
Because I don't know if you just heard me, but I was wondering if it was more like a Zeppelin or a blimp, as opposed to the Montgolfier brothers did hot air balloons, but that was a long time ago, so that couldn't be the latest technology, right?
That's what I was wondering. What exactly is the upgrade here? Because a dirigible or a Zeppelin, those would not be called balloons in Spanish. But if it's that early, is it possible that it was at such an early stage that they did not understand the difference between a balloon and a Zeppelin? Or, and this is equally possible, and we have to take it into account, were they making it up? Because this is not the only story that I've looked at in this newspaper lately where I cannot find any record of the protagonist of the news item ever existing.
God, can you imagine having the ability to just make up something? You set it somewhere far away, like Paris, and you just make up whatever story you want.
I mean, I'm not one of those people that feels like they were born in the wrong time. But,
Mhm.
like, if you gave me a time machine and let me just kind of send those items back in time, I'd be pretty happy with that job.
That would be pretty great.
Okay, here in the top of the seventh, Ted Balloon's 76 pitches over 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run. Pardon me, no earned runs, 1 walk. Sorry, flipped the numbers a little bit in my head there. 5 strikeouts. He faces Richards, Warren, and Evans, which sounds like I'm naming a law firm. Richards is 0 for 2 and 2 for 4 against Balloon, and welcome viewers if you're joining us. I don't think we usually get just 6 people late in the game. Pretty happy with that. Let's see what happens here. Richards taking him to a full count, hits it hard, right at balk though, and he crouches, grabs, and throws. So that's out number 1. I want to shout out the new weapons that we've got in the pen and some of the old weapons that we have in the pen. Farraj and Quinlevan. Quinlevan, of course, the famous 6-out. He used to start a lot of games for Naguabo. Last used as a starter in 1905, and he was actually cut by the Navegadores in, I want to say, 1906, and then brought back on a minor league deal after Stack got injured.
Oh man, I didn't know if we'd ever see him again.
Yeah, he stayed in. He was used sparingly last year, only 12 innings, 10 games. He's not nearly as good as he once was. But if a game has been pretty much decided, usually in the opposition's favor, he can come in and pitch 2, 3 innings. So he's a good option for that sort of thing. Farraj is the one I'm interested in seeing this year because he took
Yeah.
huge steps forward over the past couple of years. He actually had a start in the Campeonato Nacional last year and did pretty well. So
Oh, nice.
I think this is his year to really stand out. And of course, next year, as Ted is one of the people that is in all certainty going to be moving on, Farraj is probably the heir to that rotation spot.
I was gonna say Quinlevan. Whether he does good or bad, he's on his way out anyway. He's 29.
Also true. And I also want to mention sort of the Cerberus at the bottom of the bullpen here. I know they're the top here, but that's because they're sort of arrayed in a very strange kind of order according to their roles. But
Vibe order.
yeah, I would agree. Hancock, Onbar, and Varela are sort of the back end of the bullpen, and they are an exciting trio to have. All 3 of them are basically natural closers. They would all be closing on basically any other team. Having the 3 of them means that if a starter can only go 6, boom, 7, 8, 9, done.
Nice.
All right, so with that said, here comes Merrick Warren. 1 out, bases empty. 1-2 count. Warren launches that one into a stratosphere, and it eventually comes down for McKinnon. He makes the catch, and that's out number 2. Bases remaining empty. Boy, that was a changeup right down the middle. Ted's gotten away with that one like 4 times today.
That's great. Good for him.
Here comes Cameron Evans. He's over 2. 1-1 count. Evans hits that one to Valdez. He's got it, short hands it, throws to Kim, and that is the end of the top of the 7th. You know, I've never looked up if there are Spanish lyrics to this.
Oh. I remember a few years ago on social media, I got in with people riffing on turning this song into a Christmas song. So one of the lyrics was, buy me some cocoa and candy canes. And I think about that every time I hear the song.
I'm gonna wait until it's done.
You're standing respectfully.
That's right, exactly. I'm saluting. Which I'm trying to think of what a baseball salute would be. Would you reach out as though you were grabbing someone's butt? Is that what a baseball salute looks like?
Does it have to be a physical act? Because surely it's removing your hat and holding your hat over your heart, right?
Point, yes. Anyway, so I am trying to find. This appears to be from some sort of album that Corona did with MLB. This is the most cursed thing I have ever seen.
So is it new, you think?
I don't
Modern?
know. It's by
Okay.
somebody named Sech, who is whose formal name is Carlos Isaías Morales Williams, better known as Sech. Short, whatever. Anyway, the lyrics go. Trying to think of how the elisions have to go here for this to work.
Yeah.
I really don't think this works. This is not. Maybe this is because my sense of how Spanish should sound is perhaps a little antiquated at this point. But it goes, llévame al juego de béisbol, llévame a la multitud. Yeah, that's what I was thinking wasn't working. The elision is not enough there. You basically have to do elision the way the Romans did it, where like that first vowel just doesn't exist at all. Anyway,
Ah.
compremos maní unos cracker jack. No me importa si vuelvo jamás, apoyemos a nuestro equipo. Y si no gana también, porque es un, dos, tres y ponchado en el juego del béisbol. This is dumb. There's got to be
Yeah.
better lyrics to this.
It's a shame there weren't really any rhymes.
These are all horrible.
Oh man.
Every single one of these is bad. Seriously? Nobody's figured out how to do this correctly?
You might have to do it.
No.
I think you might need to do it.
You are not doing a but thou must on me.
I am. I'm putting this into your mind. You don't have to do it today, but you are going
Okay.
to rewrite this song in Spanish.
I might as well just keep doing those sea shanties, baseball shanties I was doing a while back.
Oh, so good.
Bottom of the seventh, Bach, Valdez, and Bouchet are facing Chavez, who is sitting on 81 pitches through 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Bach is 1 for 2 on the night. He struck out the other time, and here on the 0-1 count, he hits it right to Picard, who's got it and steps on first. That's out number 1. Bases remain empty for Benji Valdez, who's 0 for 2. He is hitting exactly 250 against Chavez. Here on the 0-2 count, Valdez hits that one over Villagomez. He's got his first hit of the night. Valdez on first, and I can't wait to see him get caught at second. They're just going to keep challenging Aguilar for some reason, and it's because he theoretically has a weak arm. But I just... And Chavez isn't supposed to have a good pickoff move, but they work well together.
Nice.
I don't know. More than the sum of their parts, I guess. Here comes Bouchet, who's got a stolen base, one of only 2 Navegadores to do so today, and also has a walk. Bouchet, by the way, we should check out, has a bit of a middle-focused spray pattern. Not a ton of dead pull or dead push to left or right field lines. First pitch to him. There goes Valdez. Oh, he's going to get there, and he gets his first steal of the season. He's 1 for 2 now on stolen base attempts with 1 out and a man on second. Let's see if Bouchet can line something into the outfield. Bring him home. 0-2 count. Bouchet hits it through right field. Valdez running for home as Bouchet stretches to second. Valdez tagged out at home. Daring send there by new third base coach Kyle Munson, but he's laid out at home by a great throw.
Wow.
Cannot believe Evans made that. Pio, that is actually fun fact. Pio Laguna, the longtime third base coach of the Naves, retired at the end of the 1907 season, so they have a new third base coach.
Oh.
And
Kyle, you said his name was?
Kyle Munson. Correct.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember if... I don't think he is... I'm trying to remember if he had a job already when he signed up. Because a lot of these guys...
Oh, like within the org?
Not within the Navegadores organization, but I don't remember if he already had a job in baseball.
Oh, okay.
He did not. He is entirely a new coach.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a player. That's interesting.
He might have been a player. That part I'm not sure about.
Okay.
That part's hard to see because if he was playing in Texas or something like that, I will not have seen him. At the very least, I'm fairly certain he was not a player in the Puerto Rican leagues.
Okay.
Anyway, Bouchet going back to first on that one, and here comes Adam McKinnon, who's over 2. Man on first and 2 outs. Let's see if Bouchet wants to challenge there. And see, Chavez proves here. Doesn't matter how good the opposing, doesn't matter how good a pitcher you are, you can't just leave a fastball hanging over the middle like that.
Yeah.
But let's hope he does it again here. Here goes Bouchet, and he will be the first Navegador. Oh! It goes into the outfield, and Bouchet stealing second and third. Man, Frank Bucket is having a blessed first game. He's got a walk, he's got a hit, he's got 2 steals, he's on third. Handsome people have all the fun.
It's that new nickname. It's really juiced him up.
Mm-hmm. Adam McKinnon with a hit up the middle. The Malditos connection holds strong as Adam McKinnon bats in the second run with an RBI single. Naguabo doubles their pleasure, doubles their fun. But, Louisa, what else do? They
double their lead.
That is right. McKinnon swinging at a sinker down and away. And he puts across the second run of the Navegadores' 1908 season. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You're going to have to say that again?
I just said, oh, man. I'm starting to get nervous, but it's near the end of the game, and I don't want to jinx anything.
And McKinnon with his wheels should be pretty interesting here in this face-off. Underwood is 1 for 3 with already a run batted in, of course. He had that RBI triple. Let's see if they try to challenge Chavez again. First pitch to Underwood. There goes McKinnon. He's going to steal second easily. His first steal of the season. And now he's on second. 1-2 count for Underwood. He hits it into right field, down the other line. I'm tempted.
Yeah, it is tempting.
It's 2 outs. The chances of him, he has better chances scoring now than he does if somebody else comes up to bat. Evans launching that ball home, not in time. Underwood bats in his second run of the game, and the Navegadores are up 3-0 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Incredible.
Look at that. He went down the third baseline, and here he just doesn't quite paint it exactly. But he forces Evans to make enough of a run that McKinnon gets a full head of steam going. And he's able to make it to home plate. The Navegadores scoring 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th to make it a 3-0 ball game. As Frank del Castillo comes up with Underwood on first. Del Castillo is 0 for 2 on the day. First pitch. There goes Underwood, and he will steal successfully. That's his first steal of the season. I knew at some point the Navegadores were going to figure out Aguilar. This is not a team that you can keep off second for very long. Del Castillo hits it right to Agosto. He will be out. But boy, what an inning. The Navegadores score 2 runs, putting up 4 hits. And they've put on 2 earned runs onto Ramon Chavez's line here as we head into the top of the 8th. Ted Balloon coming back out with a bit of a cushion. And because it's the 8th, we're actually going to put Quinlevan back on rest and put up Anbar. So he can be ready to go in case things get woolly in this inning. Before we do that, though, let's take a look and see how the other games have gone. If there's anything interesting happening. Wow, there are some home runs happening. Aguadas Santiago Plasencia hit one, and in the top of the 9th, Moca really needs to put something together here. They're down 3-1. They've got 2 on and 1 out with Sebastian Milling, the Exonian Napoleon, up to bat.
Nice.
Doroteo Baca just hit a home run for Maricao. They're up 6-1 against Lares. Orocovis is keeping on trucking. They're up 7-0 now in the bottom of the 6th. Isabel and Quebradillas are tied 2-2. Emmanuel Vargas hit a home run for the Amigos. San Germán remains leading 3-2 in the 9th. Jayuya is up 3-2 against Adjuntas. Barceloneta up 9-6 against Florida in the 7th. 6 errors between the two teams. No surprise there, frankly. Wow.
Whoa.
Villalba is absolutely ruining Ponce's day to the tune of 12-1.
You gotta enjoy that, huh?
I sure do. Also, I enjoyed that the last player to go for Villalba is one of the highest paid players in the league, an American, a USian, named Ginger Beaumont. Great name.
Oh, great name.
No notes.
Yeah.
Toa Alta is up 5-1 on Bayamon. Of course, they have Nicodemo Ceja, the reigning Excelentísimo for Hostos pitching. So, no surprise there that they're doing quite well. Loiza up 2-0 against Trujillo Alto. Bottom of the 9th for Trujillo Alto. They've got the tying run at the plate. Garm Geisbers just singled in Baca for the Esqueletos. That was a scoreless tie last time we checked in. Vieques is now up 6-0.
Incredible.
Against Diego Sanchez. Not a bad pitcher. And he is not doing well. Coamo and Santa Isabel are tied together at 1-1. Why are they tied? Because Urso Cabrera hit Daniel McLaughlin with a pitch with the bases loaded.
Ugh. What a shame.
Vega Baja up 2-0 against Vega Alta, who you'll remember last time was threatening. They had 2 on with no outs. Beatty Kromek hit the first home run of the Cataño season. San Juan needs to break a 3-3 tie in the bottom of the 9th. Juncos is up 2-1 against the Cotorras, but that's because there was a rain delay and it's the bottom of the 3rd. Patillas, on the other hand, is pulling ahead 5-1 against Arroyo. Alcides Camacho, there for the Telegrafistas, has actually only suffered 1 earned run. The problem is that there have been 5 errors from his teammates.
Ugh, shame.
Also, he's walked 4 guys. You can't do that.
Yeah, not great.
Las Piedras is up 2-1 against Ryan Burrell and the Dulceros. And looks like that's it. Excellent. All right, what do we say we finish this game, huh?
Yeah.
Ted Balloon, 89 pitches over 7 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. He faces Picard, Aguilar, and Villagomez. Picard is 0-2 on the day. In the 5th inning, he popped out to second base. Here, he hits that one hard. He hits that one deep. He hits that one out of here. Picard, with his 3rd home run off of Ted Balloon, cuts into that lead. Ted cannot believe it.
You know what? I love a home run. I don't care who does it.
138 meters on that home run.
Amazing.
That is 452 feet.
Wow.
He just has Ted's number. I don't know what's up with that, but he just ruins his day every time we stream. Here comes, that ruins the shutout. And here comes Aldo Aguilar, who's 1 for 1, also has a walk. On the 2-2 count, Ted gets a little bit of revenge there. Ted Balloon strikes out number 6. And here comes Vidal Villagomez, who is 0 for 1, plus a sac bunt. 2-2 count for him. And Villagomez goes down frozen. 7 strikeouts, back-to-back strikeouts for Ted, as he crosses the triple-digit pitch barrier. To face the top of the lineup, Cal Kelly comes up. He's 0 for 3. 2 for 22 against Ted. This should be a strong pitch from him. 2-0 count. Kelly hits down to Valdez. Valdez drops it. Oh, no! A good pickup, but he bobbles it. And that'll put a man aboard with 2 outs. Ambar and Farraj standing ready as here comes Priamo Agosto, who's 0 for 3. 4 for 23 against Ted Balloon. 0-1 count. Agosto, fly ball into center field. Underwood sprinting in, and he's got it to end the inning. That retires the side, and not before we got to see a mammoth blast from Marcos Picarte.
Incredible.
I mean, it is very funny to have this as your bit, giving up home runs to one specific player.
That guy's just really got Ted's number.
He does. Or he just hates him for some reason.
Yeah, I can see it.
Here comes Pablo Salmeron, Jake Getman, and Kim Min Soo, the big boys, right again against Ramon Chavez, who is through 7 innings, 9 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts over 98 pitches. Salmeron is 1 for 3 on the night as Varela hits the pen. He'll start stretching and soft tossing as Salmeron strikes out for Chavez's 3rd strikeout of the night. Here comes Getman, who's 2 for 3. 1 out, bases empty. 2-1 count to Getman. Launches it into center field. Does this go? It does!
What the heck? He got jealous seeing that other home run.
Jake Getman with the first Naguabo home run of the season restores the 3-run lead. That was 142 meters, also known as 466 feet.
Wow. Yeah, he was jealous.
He tore the cover off that ball, putting it into dead center there. And the Navegadores are back up 4-1. The fans falling silent as they stand up and salute for Jake Getman. And here comes Kim Min Soo, who's over 3 on the day. 1 out, bases empty. And Chavez might not be out of the woods yet. Like, yes, Kim Min Soo, not the guy you go to for reliable hitting. But if you need the ball to go far, he's your man. Kim Min Soo hits it into the air, but that is catchable by center fielder Kelly, who was not at the wall like the play-by-play is claiming. I want you to see how far away he is from the wall when he makes this catch.
Yeah, he's not even at the warning track.
That's right. You can hear the audience booing the play-by-play for claiming he was at the wall. I'm still not trying to come up with Spanish lyrics for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, but I am trying to come up with a version of Leonard Cohen's I'm Your Man that's about baseball.
I don't think I know that song. I was trying to remember it, but no.
It's fine. I mean, it's a good song. I'm not saying it's not, but there was no doubt in my mind that you did not know this song. I'll put it that way.
Fair enough.
Anyway, here comes Wally Balk, who's 1 for 3. 2 outs, bases empty. The audience has fallen very mysteriously silent. There it is, as Balk dunks one into center field. So I guess they were just giving them the silent treatment. As the human ripcord pulls it into center field, and here comes Benji Valdez with a man on first and 2 outs. Let's see how much pressure they can continue putting on Chavez. Looks like Anbar is still ready to go, so we'll sit him back down. We'll sit him back down, I said. Are you serious about this?
What's happening?
No matter what I did, it was taking me to Marcos Picart's player page.
Oh.
2-2 count. Benji hits it into center field. Easily catchable for Kelly. He's got it, and that is out number 3. We are through 8. The Navegadores up 4-1. Varela and... Not this again. Okay, so I'm going to leave this up to you.
Uh-huh.
There's no shutout. There's no no-hitter. Ted already gave up a home run. He does have 7 strikeouts. He could theoretically get to double digits. Should I let him finish the game? He's at 109 pitches, to be clear. Should I let him finish the game, or should I put in Varela, who is the closer?
I would like to see Varela come in.
Fair enough. Now pitching for the Navegadores de Naguabo, number 41, Héctor Varela, Do you remember his nickname?
Ooh, I don't, but I do have a cheat sheet, so I can tell you, once I stop stalling for time, that his nickname is Matafuegos.
That is correct. The fireman. That is apparently a real term for a closer or fireman type pitcher, somebody you bring in a tough situation.
Mhm.
But I guess in this reality, it must have come from him. He must have been the original person to have that name. Because really, before him, that kind of pitcher doesn't really exist.
Okay.
There were closers for a couple of teams if their starters just could not complete games. Manuel Guerrero in the 1890s for Utuado was an all-star closer. Silvano Nieves, nephew of Victor Nieves, was kind of a closer for a while, but most starters were expected to finish no matter how badly things went. So it 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 didn't the idea of a bullpen didn't really exist yet. In the
Yeah.
1900s, this is the part where we start to see that emerge. The idea that you have a pitcher that you go to under pressure. Dun dun dun
Did
dun dun
we,
dun.
at the time, were they just trying to rotate guys and make sure nobody got too tired or injured, or were they already thinking about, like you say, who is good at being a closer or at being a starter or a relief pitcher or whatever?
It seems to depend on the team. If you have a dependable
Okay.
closer, you use him. The Cañeros, for example, they have Gabriel Carrera. They love that guy. And he's amazing. He has more than validated their hopes. There are a couple other teams that have dedicated closers that are quite good. A lot of other teams will actually often use, if you've got somebody like Ramon Chavez, he might be your de facto closer. He might
Okay.
come in and pitch on his days off. He'll pitch the ninth or whatever. A lot of teams seem to use him that way. The Muros famously use Monbo Cortez. His first name is Manuel. Monbo is a family nickname that he brought into baseball.
Okay.
They often use Monbo Cortez as their closer, things like that. So it depends on the philosophy that each team has. Some of them still insist every starter finishes every game, and if you don't, you're not a man. But there are other teams
Yeah.
that say, we have a pitcher that can do this. If, the game is close and it's something we need to win, it's one thing if it's, you know, in April and the game is, I don't know, 6-1 or something. Sure, fair enough. Let your starter, finish it out. You can have your closer in the pen. But if your division race is tight and you're winning by 1 run, you're going to bring in your closer for sure.
Yeah.
If you
That
have
makes
one.
sense.
Héctor Varela, sinker and slider guy. I don't think he did very well with his off-season training, unfortunately. Yeah, he tried to really just kind of bulk up a little bit, add a little bit more strength and conditioning so that he could go a little bit deeper into games, but it didn't work out. He will face Kaylee Murphy, Rio Richards, and Merrick Warren. Kaylee Murphy is 0 for 3 on the night. He has never faced Varela before. Anbar is ready to stand in if things go wrong. And Murphy takes him to a full count and walks. Rough go of it for Varela there. 7 pitches immediately on the line. By the way, that also means that Ted had the under because he didn't hit anybody in this game. So Will, as it turns out, made the correct decision in taking the under.
Oh no, all my pesos ruined. I'm
That's right.
ruined.
All your pesos gone.
Yeah.
Here comes Rio Richards. He's also 0 for 3, also has never faced Varela. That kind of ground ball pitching that Varela likes hopefully will get them a double play here. 1-1 count. He grounded out back in the 7th. This goes right back to Varela, and he throws to second base, and they get the lead runner. No relay there. But that's out number 1. Now hitting for the Soles de Luquillo, number 35, Ross Simpson, and the incredibly objectionable beard he has chosen to wear.
Can you call that a beard, or do you have to call that mutton chops?
You know what I call it? A crime.
It's fair.
Ross Simpson, by the way, has only played for teams that wear yellow and red because he used to be an electrico. He was traded, I want to say, in the 1906-07 offseason.
Mhm.
We actually had our eye on him for a while there for a rental when he was 29, and we were looking for maybe a half season when he was famous for just walking all the time.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, the decision was made that what we would have to give up to get him was not worth half a season of just a guy with a good batting eye.
Yeah, it's a shame.
So anyway, now he's in Luquillo and as a pinch and is being a pinch hitter. So that's nice for him, I guess. Anyway, he has faced Varela once and got a hit off of him, so we're not out of the woods yet here. 1 out and a man on first. 2-2 count. Jesus, San Meron. It goes past him, and Richards makes it to second, and that's a full count for Varela. This could be trouble. Simpson pops it up. He does Varela a favor. McKinnon running in. Does he catch it? He does. 2 outs, and a man remaining on second for Cameron Evans, who is 0 for 3 and 0 for 2 against Varela. Let's see if he'll finish him off here, earn his first save of the 1908 season. 0-2 count. Evans! Hit into left center field. That will score the run as Underwood has to track that ball down.
Man.
Evans gets his first hit of the night as there's a bouncing throw into third, and it's a triple.
Wow.
The Navegadores remained in the lead 4-2. It's an RBI triple for Cam Evans. They're still trailing, but what a beautifully hit ball. Look at that.
Yeah, right between them.
Perfectly splitting the outfield gap there on an errant slider. And here comes Marcos Picard, who could tie this game if he feels like hitting another home run. He's 1 for 3 with that home run and a run batted in. Let's see what he's got to say. Against Varela, he's 1 for 2. 1-2 count. Picard to Valdez. Valdez to Kim. And this game is over. The Navegadores hold on there despite having a man on third and the tying run at the plate and win 4-2.
Oh, man.
Ted Balloon, 8 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run earned, which was a home run, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. A big home run, by the way. He got hit hard.
Mm-hmm.
Héctor Varela earning his first save of the season and hopefully will pitch a lot better than that in the future, allowing a hit, an earned run, a walk, striking out nobody over 24 pitches. So he's got a very inflated 9 ERA right now. Ramon Chavez taking the loss. 8 innings pitched, 11 hits allowed, 4 hits, 3 of which were earned, including a monster home run to Getman. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts over 119 pitches. Nobody really covered themselves in glory defensively. 5 total errors, except I would say Underwood, who nailed Aguilar at second base, and Evans, who nailed Benji Valdez at home. Pardon me. As far as base running, Underwood, Getman, Valdez, Bouchet, and McKinnon all stole bases. Bouchet stole 2. Del Castillo got caught and did not steal a base. Getman and Valdez are 1 for 2 on stolen bases. And the story on offense really has to be here. I think you have to give it to Underwood with his 2 runs batted in, which I'm sure you're very happy about.
Yeah, it was great.
Getman with his 3 hits, including the home run that he batted himself in on, basically.
So
and
good.
Francisco Bouchet and Adam McKinnon, Bouchet in particular, making his debut. Draws a walk, gets on base once with a hit, scores twice, steals 2 bases. You could not ask for better in a first game. I mean, obviously you could ask for like a 4 home run game, but that wasn't in the cards, so this is the next best thing.
It would be rude to ask for that much.
Exactly. Any final thoughts before we let him go?
No, it's just, I mean, kind of I don't want to say a predictable game, but we kind of assumed it would turn out this way, and it did. But it was really nice to see these new guys and to know we've got a fresh blood coming in on the team. That was awesome. Great start to the season.
Yeah, I was very happy. I was very happy to see both Bouchet and McKinnon holding their own. I really expected to just see a bunch of strikeouts from them. The fact
Yeah.
that they hung in there against Chavez. Again, it's one thing if you're facing random pitcher number 56. Ramon Chavez is, pay no attention to what you saw here today. He's one of the best pitchers in the league.
Yeah.
He would be on a team that could marginally hold on to the ball and supported him better. He would probably constantly be in the running for Excelentísimo, and he comes close even despite having a bad team behind him.
Mhm.
So I think you have to take that into account. The fact that Bouchet and McKinnon were facing him for the first time as starters against a guy of that caliber, the fact that they stood up to him, the fact that they didn't let him bully them, bodes very well for this season.
Yeah.
Bueno, gente, we'll be back next week. Honestly, we might have a Navegadores game again, or we might go see Shrdlu and Stonehand over on the Capitanes. It depends on what the vagaries of the schedule allow for, but we will be very happy to see you then. That'll be, what, the day after Christmas, right?
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, so it'll be a belated Christmas present, but we'll be very happy to give it to you anyway. Until then, as always, this is Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. Gente, buenas noches, gracias mil y Dios les bendiga.